together, we can do anything.
So fascinating. Wrestling, fantasy, and anime, movie awards season, and Christmas releases are right around the corner. There truly is something for everyone out there, and going to the movies is obviously a perfect way to spend a cold day over winter break. So today we are talking to film critic Brian Eggert to find out what should be on our watch list. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it because people are in that movie mindset. You have the Christmas festivities, but maybe you want to unwind afterwards with a great movie. So first up, I understand, is the Iron Claw.
Right, yeah. Now this is a really just terrifically acted movie about the Von Erich wrestling family. Now this is a family of 4 wrestling kids, sort of dominated by their father, who has sort of a vice grip over his sons and makes them actually compete for his love, and whoever's doing the best, he literally ranks them in terms of his love.
Interesting. Well, let's take a look at this about this very famous wrestling family.
Okay, sounds great.
Terry, I want you to join your brothers in the ring.
Yes, sir. I love that.
Woo! Now, we all know Kerry's my favorite, then Kev, then David, then Mike. But the rankings can always change.
Again, it looks so fascinating.
Yeah, and so you see there Zac Efron, he's kind of got a He-Man appearance. He really changed, did a full body transformation for this role.
Wow.
It's an incredible performance. And over the course of the story, you really see how this father's pressure forces these wrestlers to push themselves to extremes, and it's really a tragedy what happens to this family over the course of several years. Lots of accidents and illnesses that are sort of forced by this father's pressure. It's a very moving film that I highly recommend you check out. I'm not particularly interested in wrestling, and I didn't really know anything about this story going in, and I was incredibly moved by this.
Oh, that's fascinating. Certainly it could probably relate to many other activities or sports, whatever.
Absolutely.
In terms of that pressure. Okay, so next up, one of the most acclaimed films of the year, Poor Things.
She's an experiment.
Good evening.
Her brain and her body are not quite synchronized. But she's progressing at an accelerated pace.
Okay, I'm already intrigued. I'm a big Emma Stone fan, though.
She's outstanding in this film, and spoiler alert for my top 10 films of 2023 list that's coming out next week, but this is my favorite film of this year.
Wow.
She is just incredible. This is a Frankenstein type story where Willem Dafoe plays a kind of mad scientist who creates her in a lab and then just sort of unleashes her on the world without any sense of social decorum or what society is supposed to be like. And through kind of a series of debauched adventures, she learns who she is and becomes kind of self-empowered. I love this film so much because it's dialed up to 11. All the costumes, the kind of surreal, fantastical world that it takes place in, the performances. I mean, it's a sensory overload, and it's the kind of film that you can't really grasp in one sitting. And I love that. I love being challenged by a movie and being forced to return to it.
Awesome. Okay, well, last but not least, an import from Japan from a legendary animator. Let's take a look at this one.
What is this place? This world is filled with the dead. I know it's a lie, but I have to see. I'm looking for someone. Let's go.
That looks so great. I have a 12-year-old nephew, Bowden Carl, if you're up this morning, who loves anime. A lot of children just love anime, of course. This looks like it's a really fabulous one as well.
Yeah, it's a really visionary piece of work. It's very kind of standard for the director, Hayao Miyazaki. He comes from Studio Ghibli, and it's a story about a boy who, during World War II, his mother dies, and he goes to live in the country with his father, and there he kind of finds a portal to another world. And it's maybe a similar theme here, a story of self-discovery, and he's learning about magic and kind of through these strange creatures, and it's just a beautifully told story. Hand-drawn animation, I think, is so transportive because there's this tactile quality to it. We get so many computer-generated works from Disney and Pixar, and there's a certain, I think, artistic distance that places between you and the viewer, whereas this is a work of someone's hands in a lot of cases.
That's an interesting insight on its own.
Yeah, and so I was really moved by this movie. It's unlike anything you're going to see in theaters right now.
Awesome.
And then there's Japanese language versions and an English dubbed version,
Very cool.
depending on your preferences.
Well, Brian, we could talk to you forever. In fact, we're going to keep talking to you. But all of Brian's reviews are on his website, Deep Focus Review. We have a link on KARE11.com. And